How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is my blog for today. The whole issue all over America now that's getting all the headlines, it happens to be this whole idea of national health insurance that Barack Obama wants to put into place. And it's another example of his whole idea of owning everything. The government owns now 60% of General Motors and maybe 50 or 60% of Chrysler. And before you know it, we also own, by the way, a big percentage of the banking industry. And you would never know this is the same country you were living in a couple of years ago. Who would believe that America now is a partner in some major companies in the major industrial power of America and the banking system of America? And they own it and they control it, and they can tell you how much an executive is allowed to get paid and what kind of a car they should make, because they have the final authority on what kind of a car should come out, in what way, at what time. And this became a socialistic society. Now, the word socialism is repugnant to a lot of people. They want to associate it with Obama, but what is he looking for except socialism? By creating a national healthcare system, all of a sudden we're going to have the worst national healthcare system that's possibly conceivable, because we have a great national system right now. You don't know many people who have to wait 6 months to see a doctor, but if you go to Canada, and I was there, people with all kinds of terminal diseases that could possibly be saved, some terrible problems that they could possibly be, all of a sudden lose their lives or lose their limbs. And you hear about it every day. Every doctor will testify to it. That people with the cancer problem, cancer here right now in this country, you have almost a 20% better chance of survival than you do in Canada. And the same thing is true with Europe. In Europe, in almost every country in Europe, it's for anywhere from 17 to 30% of a worse case of survival and a worse chance of survival there than you do here. More people are dying there from every major disease, from every kind of a heart problem, and if God forbid you broke your leg and you have a chance to fix it, it'll deteriorate by the time you see a doctor, because time is of the essence, and time is the main problem of all the national healthcare system. Because you don't have enough time to fix it, your condition, whatever, God forbid it might be, will get continuously worse and worse, and very often the whole condition will deteriorate to such an extent that you'll lose your leg or your limb, which you never would have had to lose if you had no national health care system, if you had the system we have now. How many times have you heard of a person who lost his leg, his arm, his life, or anything else because he had no time to see a doctor, because he had to wait 6 months or a year or 2 or 3 or 5? And this is unbelievable and impossible to believe that an American president would want to destroy the healthcare system of America so that he could have an opportunity to own it and control it, and without any concern whatsoever about all the lies he tells you. He told you 100 lies about how he's going to save you money, how it's going to become easier, and everybody will become more productive, and everybody will have a happier day, and his own budget bureau of his own government defied the whole story of that he just told you. He said it's an out-and-out blatant fraud. The fact of the matter is everything will cost more and more, 10 times more than it ever cost before. Instead of billions, it's going to cost trillions and more trillions, and nobody can even guess how many trillions, for a waste system that will make it impossible for you ever to get any kind of a care on time. Your life will deteriorate, it'll cost you 10 times more, and you'll have a better chance of winding up in a hospital or dead, and the whole family has a better chance of never surviving this whole system. You will die because of the system, because of his pledge of allegiance to the idea of the socialistic principles he's involved in. He never studied it. He never cared about the consequences of it. He doesn't care how he destroys everybody. All the figures and all the proof from every source is that it's wrong, it's impossible, and it's unworkable. And he doesn't care as long as he proves the point that he wants to own everything. And that's all he cares about. I'll own the system. We'll become a socialistic society. He'll become a dictator, and you will be wiped out. Is this what you wanted? That's what you're going to get.